Hij was de held van 11 september, William Rodriguez. 6 jaar geleden verliet hij als laatste levend de brandende WTC-torens. Hij redde in die laatste momenten, voordat de torens instortten, tientallen mensen. Uiteindelijk werd hij zelf onder het puin bedolven, waar hij uren later toch nog levend werd gevonden. De regering Bush omarmde de held, totdat hij lastige vragen begon te stellen.
The people that went over there to clean after the collapse of the towers, and they have died, 160 of them. All the rescue dogs are dead. And over 60,000 people in the area of New York and New Jersey are sick because of the toxic dust that was generated when the towers collapsed. I started the day by calling my supervisor and telling him that I was not going to work. The reason was that it was such a beautiful day that I wanted to stay home. I wanted to take a sick day off. And I called my supervisor and he begged to me to go back into the company. And I made it to work, but I made it late. And that was a miracle by itself, because if I made it there at 8 o'clock, I would have been dead automatically, or I would have been trapped on the top of the building.
And at 8:46, we hear, boom! An explosion so loud that pushes us upwards in the air. The walls cracked, the false ceiling fell on top of us, the sprinkler system got activated, everybody started screaming in horror, in pure horror, because we didn't know what it was. And the first thing that comes to my mind is that a generator just blew out on the basement, on the mechanical room.
Het verhaal van William Rodriguez lijkt op en top Amerikaans. Een eenvoudige conciërge die een volksheld wordt, die tientallen mensen redt uit de brandende torens van het World Trade Center. Die zelf op het nippertje aan de dood ontsnapt. Hij had zijn verhaal kunnen verkopen in Hollywood. Hij had de politiek ingekund. Maar 6 jaar na dato is dit het leven van Rodriguez. Het vertellen van zijn verhaal van de 11e september, keer op keer, terug naar die ene ochtend.
I was on B1, basement 1, when this huge explosion happened that pushed us upwards in the air, an indication that something very powerful exploded below us. And at that moment, when I went to say it, we hear, pa! The impact and the explosion of the plane on the top. 2 different events separated by 7 seconds, more or less.
And you could hear the difference from the top and from the bottom. Come on, I work in the building for 20 years and I know the difference between something coming from the basement and something coming from the top. So everybody's screaming in horror, help, help, and we didn't know what to do.
Let's get out of here. Guys, back it up.
While we are inside the building, we have less information than the world. The world was watching this on television all over. Horror, total horror, because we saw something that we have never seen before. From the initial explosion in the basement, I took 14 people from the basement, led the way out so they could go outside the building because nobody was taking the leadership. After that I went back, went into the North Tower. There were 2 people stuck inside of an elevator, a lift, and they have water going into the lift, and they were encapsulated, and they were screaming that they were going to drown. I was able, with the help of another guy, to open the door, find a ladder, get these 2 people out, save them, take them outside the building, and go back inside the building. There were 5 master keys in the building, and I have the only one available at that moment. And I went floor by floor by floor, opening the doors so people could escape.
Rodriguez weet op dat moment nog niet wat er is gebeurd. Wat die eerste veronderstelde explosie heeft veroorzaakt, vlak voor het eerste vliegtuig nog.
I don't know if it was a bomb or not. I am not an expert in explosives. It sounded like one. It made the noise like one. It created, a destruction level that, I wouldn't expect anything else to be but that. But was that a bomb? I have no idea what it was. compassion is more powerful than violence. It will make you act in ways that you never saw possible. And I was so desperate to get to my friends and to save them. And the sad thing is that I was recognized for saving hundreds of people, but the people that I really wanted to help, I never was able to save a single one of them. I lost 200 friends on 9/11. And while I went down, the building collapsed. There was a huge collapse, and that was the South Tower. You know, the second one to be hit by a plane, but the first one to collapse.
I saw the fire, I saw the smoke, and the smoke was so dense that it covered the top of the building. It covered all the way to the antenna. And that's when I reacted. I said, oh my God, the people...
I saw all the bodies of the people that jumped out of the building. And the only thing I saw was a fire truck. And the building started to tremble like an earthquake. And it started to collapse. And the only thing that I could do at that moment was to jump right under the truck. And the building basically engulfed me. And I was totally buried under the rubble, alive. And then this dust came. That dust went under every orifice under the truck. And it basically burned my face, burned my skin, and I couldn't breathe. Then I think at that moment, I'm not dying squashed to death, but now I'm gonna die of asphyxia. So I have to put my face under my shirt to be able to breathe.
Get in there, let's go. Get in, go in, go in. Get in, walk to the back, get in, walk to the back.
And hours after, I was pulled from the rubble, thinking at that moment that I lost my legs. But a miracle. I didn't break a single bone.
Na 11 september wordt Rodriguez een graag geziene gast op het Witte Huis. Maar lang duurt dat niet.
And when they invite you to the White House, you go. All right? This was at the very beginning when I was wine and dine at the White House. I was doing so much for the community.
They saw me as a political ally. This is the guy that we need to run for political office because he can get the Latino Hispanic vote in the United States. We're talking about 30 million voters. This is the one that we need. And they were basically preparing me. Once I started asking questions, all that support from the White House, from everybody, disappeared.
Volgens de commissie die 20 maanden lang onderzoek deed, waren de veiligheidsmaatregelen in de Verenigde Staten aan de vooravond van de aanslagen ver beneden peil.
I testified behind closed doors for the 9/11 Commission. And my testimony in 576 pages doesn't appear not even once.
I look forward to studying their recommendations and look forward to working with responsible parties within my administration to move forward on those recommendations.
They spend more money on the Monica Lewinsky trial than they did on the death of 3,000 people. It was more important for America to find out what Monica was doing under the desk than the death of our 3,000 people.
Vragen stellen rond 11 september. William Rodriguez is niet de enige die dat doet. Veel mensen denken dat er meer gebeurd is. Dat de autoriteiten dingen verzwijgen. Dat er meerdere explosies waren. Of dat de Amerikaanse regering zelf een aandeel had in de aanslagen. Mensen geloven in de wildste complottheorieën. Ooggetuigenverslagen zoals die van Rodriguez worden door die complotdenkers met graagte omarmd. Of hij dat nou leuk vindt of niet.
A lot of people call me a conspiracy theorist. And it's funny because I was there. I am an eyewitness. I experienced the event. I do not speculate because I experienced it in my own skin. I have the people that have come out and validated the story constantly. I have the people that have survived also the event and have tried to tell their part of the story, which actually coincide with mine, and they have been shut out. I don't do this for attention. I'm already part of history. I don't do this for fame. I turn out millions of dollars for my story in Hollywood. I don't do this for getting media support. I don't need it. You know, I do this because of a mission. I lost 200 friends that do not have answers. And I will continue until we get the answers.
Tot zover.